Okay guys, so I've been starting to get some emails about questions like this. This is on Delta Math, interpreting linear functions from the equation. So here's one of the problems I think we're given where it says a of x equals 10 minus 2.50x. So the first thing I would do is convert it. We know a of x is the same thing as f of x, right? And we know that we always want to change f of x into y to start with. So it makes it much more familiar to us. We're used to using the variables of x and y. Then I would rewrite it, and I would have 10 minus 2.50x. So from here, it all depends on what the problem says. If they're asking for the y-intercept, now we don't have a word wall right now, okay, but a y-intercept is 0, y, okay. If they're asking for an x-intercept, we have on our color-coded word wall at school that is x, 0. So you have to make the decision when you read the problem, am I going to plug in 0 for x, or am I going to plug in 0 for y? And then from there you solve the problem and can find your intercept. So for this one we're going to do it both ways. So y equals 10 minus 2.50x. If I want to find, let's say, the y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x, right? So then I would rewrite it and I would say y equals 10 minus 2.50 parentheses 0. Okay, then from there I would solve it. So I still write down y equals 10 minus, I know 2.50 times 0 is 0. So then 10 minus 0 just becomes simply y equals 10. As an ordered pair, that would be 0, 10. Y-intercepts always represent a starting amount. Maybe it's height, maybe it's amount of money, maybe it's, it could be a host of many things, but the key is that's always our starting amount. On a graph, we always start with the y-intercepts. That's why it's always the starting amount. Okay, let's say they're trying to find the x-intercept. Same equation. I got y equals 10 minus 2.50x. If I want to find the x-intercept, I know that I'm going to plug in 0 in the place of y. So now I would rewrite it and I would say 0 equals 10 minus 2.50x. Okay, so from here I'm trying to get x by itself. So the first step I would do, you have to make a decision. Am I going to move the 10 across, or am I going to move the 2.50 across? Let you think about it for a sec. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 10 across. I'd want to do it by the opposite operation. So in this case, that's going to be subtracting 10 from both sides. 10 minus 10 cancels out and makes 0. So now I have 0 minus 10. That gives me negative 10 equals negative 2.50x. Okay, from there, my last step to get x by itself is I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2.50. If you want to make it just negative 2.5, that's the same thing. Remember, don't forget the negative sign. We are dividing by a negative. I do change the operation to division, but I do keep it negative. So in my calculator, I would put right here, you can't see that screen. Oh, now you can. So I would do negative 10 divided by negative 2.5. That's going to give me, as you can see, 4. So the answer is 4 equals x, or ordered pair 4, 0. And that's how you find the intercepts from equation. That's one section of your Delta Math. Again, that's the section called interpreting linear functions from the equation. The other thing they might ask you for is the slope. Okay, slope is going to help you out with word problems. On our word wall, we had that as rate of change. So maybe it's how much money you're making per hour, per minute, how much you're growing in your height per year, but it represents the change on a graph. And so that's what slope's going to represent. I hope this helps you out. Again, if you have any questions over this section of Delta Math, feel free to give me a screenshot of the question. I'll be more than happy to walk you through it on an email, or maybe send you a video like this. Anything I can do to help you guys out. Again, guys, please ask questions. I know this is different. This is not the normal. We had spring break, so it's been a while since we've seen some of this stuff. I completely understand. But you guys got to communicate with me and ask questions when you have them. I'll be sending out another video here shortly over tables.